Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the eISL, powered by Coca-Cola, with Hero as our associate sponsor, Norman Gaming as our esports partner, PlayStation as our platform partner, and Terra Virtua as our digital collectibles partner. Now, Azim, we're here for a heck of a matchup. Top of the table, one side Bengal, one side Mumbai, and the only team Bengal has ever lost to is Mumbai. So it makes it even better.
Yeah, it's going to be so interesting. Of course, we've already had an exciting day so far. Let's quickly take you through the tournament format. This is, of course, the business end of the league stage, which is going to culminate on the 13th of March. We have two 1v1 games and, of course, one co-op match. Then we have the top four teams, and both of these two I would expect to be in the top four, barring some kind of major disaster, playing out the finals. And then, of course, the two winning team members battle it out to represent India in the FIFA Global Series 2022.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if it continues to push forward for all of these teams, because pressure was a big factor. But talking about factors, there's one more big, massive factor in terms of the prize pool itself. 78 lakh up for grabs, and a new addition in that MVP prize with the 4 lakh personalized NFT. Quite nifty.
Yes, quite nifty because it's an NFT by Terra Virtua. There you go. It is a 4 lakh prize for the MVP, and of course 15 lakhs for the winners in first place. And of course we do have our main MVP candidate Ankit Gupta in action today. But let's quickly take you through the leaderboards. You know what is at stake. SC East Bengal sitting nice and pretty on top, 2 games in hand over the nearest competitors, and Mumbai City FC will be looking to put a dent in their ambitions over here. There is a curse that exists at the top of the table. Whoever has taken first place has promptly proceeded to start losing and fall out of the top 4. So let's not hope that's the case for SC East Bengal, but let's quickly take a look at the fixtures.
Yeah, we've got not Ankit Gupta, or at this point, we do know he is Ankit Gupta, going up against Ashwin and Ben against Tika. And it is the exact same matchups as when they faced each other last time around. Both the individual matchups in that case were won by Mumbai City FC. So now we'll see, with the home advantage gone, not that it matters so much in the LAN setup, maybe the kit effect will play a big deal.
Yeah, and let's again take you through what happened last time out. It was a very close 1-0 against Ankit Gupta for Ashwin. This was an Ankit Gupta who was flying in form, scoring 5, 6, 7 goals for fun. Suddenly shut out by Ashwin, and of course then we have Tika, who managed to get his win against Shayantan. And yeah, there we have it. It's two very closely matched players, two players of a similar age as well, in Ashwin and Ankit. Similarly named players also. It's all similar, except for the goal scored, where Ankit Gupta massively leading with 33 goals in just 11 matches to Ashwin's 23 from 13.
Hey, but he hasn't opened his goal scoring mark against Ashwin yet. So we'll have to see if Ashwin can keep that clean sheet once again, because as you said, Ankit Gupta is one of our leading candidates for the MVP prize. He's been scoring all kinds of goals. Like, anything that you can imagine, he's probably done it. And please change this camera. What does this camera do?
Well, can't do anything about that, Sia. You'll have to live with it. But also, I would really be looking forward to Ankit Gupta's FIFA Finesse series. I would really love to get some of his tips and tricks. We do see Mumbai City FC, yes, have Rafael Varane in there. I think probably the flashback card, and Maldini. So not getting tempted by the new meta of Marquinhos. I do believe the second defender has been a bit of a mixed bag. We've seen a couple of Rudigers in there. We've seen a couple of we've seen Maldini as a mainstay for a very long time, and something that you can have for a very long time is your own animated team mascot worth $19.99, which you can get for free at terravirtua.io/ISL. So get yourself right over there, but only after this match, because Ankit Gupta is on the charge. Is he going to open his account against Mumbai City FC? Almost saved by Casillas at the near post.
Casillas coming up huge for Ashwin, but this is why we talk about Ankit Gupta being one of those leading candidates. He's really damn good when it comes to pushing forward on the attack and maintaining that composure, and that's one thing that I'm really excited to see from both of these players as teams that are first and third respectively right now in the leaderboard. Both of these teams looking to cement their top 4 spot, and we'll have to see how much of a role pressure plays in that regard, because earlier today in the matchup between Hyderabad and Northeast United, saw a lot of cheap giveaways. Now, so far so good by both of these teams. A nice ball set up for Messi. I'm just curious, how does he see all the options available in this camera angle?
Well, I think maybe it's, well, actually it is his camera angle. So I think probably relying heavily on the radar, but offside over there. And yeah, I think the radar does play a massive factor in spotting those passes. Of course, it does help to have a slightly wilder field of view. But I mean, for a lot of people, you've just grown up with a particular camera angle, and that's what you go for. Ankit Gupta now trying to get ahead, winning that ball back again. Let's see what he has up his sleeve. Is there going to be another different kind of trick, skill, maneuver, chip? Nope, this time the shot is blocked. And Ashwin, of course, is one of the more cerebral players in the game. He has a big understanding of how the game really works and how players tend to think. So he will have a plan up his sleeve to contend with the juggernaut that is Ankit Gupta. And let's see if he can do the double over him. Now getting Gullit into those areas, very smartly backing away to shield the ball. And Mbappe is onside. That's an excellent ball in, but not such a good pullback. And Ankit can start building again for SCEB Bengal.
Yeah, and about that as well, right? You could see that radar awareness really coming clutch. I don't think he could have seen Mbappe on the camera, just knew that his player would be in that position. So Ashwin also, I feel like one of the players that has improved the most throughout the eISL journey, has really cemented himself as one of the key players for the side of Mumbai City FC, and so far so great, but still needs to take down the number 1 team, and in all arguments the number 1 player from that number 1 team to give his teammate a bit of a relief going into that second match.
Yeah, but has to be said that Tikka himself as well has come leaps and bounds in the tournament. Now a huge opportunity to find Messi on the strong foot, but this time going near post rather than across the keeper. Big opportunity, goes begging, immediately goes with the corner. Will he look to put a cross in? It's Ashwin. No chance he's putting a cross in. And now it opens up for Ronaldo. He could have taken the shot early, but we know Ashwin always wants it on the stronger foot. It's another corner.
And this is another reason, like you said, I want to see Ashwin's finesse series, but hold on to that thought for a second. He's playing games with reverse of the packet loss, like packet gain. Yeah, I'm not sure what just happened.
I think even the players really wanting to get on with it. Like, yeah, whatever, animation, forget about it. It's a goal kick. And a smashing ball through by Ankit Gupta over there. Will he go for the chip? You know he's going to go for the chip. And it is in! Ankit Gupta, he's said it in the interviews. He has to score 1 chip goal every match. And there you go, a Terra Virtua super moment of the match already.
But to do it for his first ever goal in an individual match against Ashwin, it just sets him up for immense success. Again, I feel like chip shots are such a big factor in terms of mind games that you play with your opponent, because you need to understand when to pull your keeper or not pull your keeper, and it plays a huge role in how that 1v1 interaction between the attacker and the keeper is going to go in the future. We're talking about interactions right now. Ashwin in an unfamiliar position from his previous match, was not down before, and he's going to have to claw back. But hey, overall, I don't think so unfamiliar to him. He is known to be consistent throughout his game, so we can expect still a thriller from this game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Ashwin, he's going to stay very calm and collected. We've seen him go down in the past and claw his way back. But of course, against Ankit Gupta, easier said than done. He's finding those balls in behind with consummate ease, and trying a little skill move that didn't quite come off. Now a corner. He's got a lot of very innovative corner routines as well, so watch out for those. Let's see if he has a new one up his sleeve this time. Doesn't look like he's aiming inside the box at the moment. It does, and he goes for a very acute near post cross. Doesn't quite work out. Surely he's not going to shoot with Marquinhos, and of course, yes, better sense prevails. And now a wide gap on that left flank, but narrowed down very quickly with the sprinting Hakimi back there. Of course, so difficult to run away from Hakimi over there. Absolutely has taken Cafu's place away from most of the teams, but of course, it does look like Ashwin is still persisting with the Brazilian legend at right back. And a bit of a foul over there, but that does mean a player out of the game. And can he make this count? A great lobbed ball in behind, but again, can't quite make it count.
Yeah, I think the right back choice as well to pick up there, I think, has to do a lot with the fact that Ashwin usually in most of his games likes to control the possession. I can understand necessarily pace not being as big a factor when you're playing that particular style, especially when you're fullbacks aren't necessarily your biggest attacking threats, but the strength of Gullit coming up over De Bruyne, going for the finesse. Oh my goodness, what?
Oh my goodness, Ankit Gupta, you absolute monster. He's done it again. Out of nowhere. How does he get these shots to go in? I mean, this is after the patch that has nerfed the long range shots, but he says he sits and practices those week in, week out, day in, day out, and it is really starting to show. And is Ashwin now really going to be regretting those early chances that he missed?
I think so. What happened is that previously Ashwin played Ankit Gupta, and now he's playing not Ankit Gupta.
Well, I mean, the goals are most definitely Ankit Gupta or not Ankit Gupta, depending on how you look at it. And yeah, scratch of the head over there at halftime for Ashwin, because he will know that actually, if you look at the expected goals over there, as we briefly saw, it is 0.6 for both teams. So Ashwin, I mean, even the game cannot expect his goals, let's just say, because you would never expect those shots to be taken on by most players. But of course, this is a guy who loves the flair game. Look at this beautiful chip.
And I wonder if he actually changes up his right back, Ashwin, because both of the goals, not both of the goals, that first goal and a lot of chances down that left wing for Ankit Gupta on the counter, where I feel like Cafu is getting caught out, maybe not able to keep up with that space coming in. So maybe we see a Hakimi coming in. Unlikely though. I feel like Ashwin is one of the players who sticks to what he knows and tries to make it work one way or another. So as you can see, no team changes, but I expect at least tactically some changes. Oh, actually, scratch that. I'm wrong. Eusebio on from Mbappe. We'll see how the Portuguese legend helps Ashwin.
Yeah, and I think another reason, of course, for Ashwin to choose Cafu over there is a big chance, though. Eusebio immediately in on the action, and a very, very poor ball played through over there. I think not the ball he was intending to play. But getting back to the right back, I think the reason why he is playing Cafu in there is because of chemistry reasons, because he does have Maldini over there. Of course, both of them played at AC Milan in the Serie A, so does help with chemistry. Getting a little too eager to win the ball back there, almost made to pay for it. But of course, manages to defend. And now Ashwin will, of course, be piling the pressure forward, which will leave Ankit more gaps to exploit. Not that he even needs gaps at this point, because he's looking just as imperious as always.
Yeah, just needs the ball at his feet and he'll get it in one way or another. A chip of finesse so far. I wonder if he can show us a driven shot just to cap it off, maybe a header just to get the cherry on the cake, because that's what we expect from Ankit Gupta. But right now, taking his time with it, possession is not something he got to enjoy in this first half, so very much is going to enjoy the flavor and the taste of this and make Ashwin really sweat.
Yeah, and definitely is making him sweat. It's a header in off the crossbar, and just about defended. Ashwin just about surviving over there. At 3-0, that was lights out. At 2-0, he still has just a glimmer of hope as Cafu just about keeps it in. Now, does he have options available? He has Ronaldo in the middle, taking Cafu and running up the pitch. Does have an option at the back post if he chooses to cross, but goes for the very low percentage ball to De Bruyne, and SCEB Bengal have possession back again.
I wonder if Ashwin's tendency to pretty much never cross actually plays against him there, because you can see Ankit Gupta is just like, I'm going to keep it compact. I don't think you're going to put the ball in the box, and yeah, it works out for him. He cuts out the pass, and now he's back on the attack, and he's been so damn good with it. Just a very well driven pass gets Ronaldo his second chance, and like this time he gets it in.
There you go. Su goes Ronaldo, and Su goes Ankit Gupta, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo, I believe one of his favorite players, and also Eric Cantona, one of his favorite players. So clearly a Manchester United fan. But there you go. And this is the guy, again, we have to keep reminding our viewers that this is the guy who says, yeah, I just play FIFA for fun. I'm not a pro player. I'm just a casual player. I just do this. I may not play in FIFA tournaments again. But although we did hear from him last time out that his family has been supporting him quite a bit, and he may just consider going pro, as Tikka not very interested in this match, just waiting for his game to come along. He's like, these goals are boring. Just watch me take it to Shayantan in the next match.
Oh boy. Tikka just being like, yeah, I mean 3-0 to ho hi gaya. Maybe you can rage quit real quick so I can get my match going. But I will say the goal difference, at least in the top of the table, is starting to matter a lot. Just in the last match, we saw Northeast United taking a position over FC Goa because of that goal difference. So maybe if at least Ashwin could pull back a few goals, it would make a difference, because against Ankit Gupta at 3-0, a win seems very unlikely. A draw, I would say, it doesn't seem likely. I wouldn't say unlikely, but very few chances, especially with Ashwin himself able to create very few chances in front of goal.
Yeah, I mean, unless, look at that tackle from Varane in there. And again, you can see how eager he is to win that ball back. Does not want to give Ashwin time on the ball because he knows as well, also a very cerebral and smart player is Ankit Gupta. And we have seen this particularly with a lot of the more experienced heads, say in terms of age, the 24, 25-year-olds in this tournament with Ashwin, Ankit, Lokmanya, these guys. All of them sort of tend to read the player more than they read the game, and that does tend to help on occasion, and playing a bit of a risky game there. No harm done, however, and now he'll be looking for that ball in behind. Of course, marshalled well by Maldini over there, and has the option to play the through ball, but doesn't quite take it.
Oh, Messi available as well. Couldn't run through. Eusebio had the gap, but instead plays the 1-2, and is he... I think he thought he was offside. Or maybe just going for the chip for fly points. I'm not sure. I feel like he should have just smashed it. He had to. Eusebio's left. And Ashwin likes shooting across goals.
Yeah, but it was, of course, in that moment that Ashwin realized that he was not Ankit Gupta. And there you go. Is it going to be another chip? No, it's a driven shot. And it's almost like a role reversal, right? Yeah. Where Ankit Gupta taking driven shots and missing, and Ashwin doing chip shots and missing. It's like they're trying each other's metas out. But now, with surely not going to shoot with Kante. No, he crosses it into the back post, and an opportunity for Ashwin to counter. If he's going to get anything from this game, well, it's got to happen now. He needs to get a goal ASAP. Let's see if he can find an opportunity. He's got the fullbacks holding the width now, but you can see how compact Ashwin's defense, Ankit's defense is. He knows that he's very happy to let Ashwin go wide because he's not going to cross the ball. Now a little ball roll fake over there. Lovely turn. One turn too many. And the ball is given up.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost like someone should take out the information of which player has which strong foot for Ashwin. But hold on. A beautiful ball finds Ronaldo. And it's okay. Strength of the Maldini player right there. Interception is there. And we're back just to the standard play. It doesn't seem like Ashwin is able to break the ice, Azim.
Yeah, he's just not being able to. And I think it's a concerted effort by Ankit to not allow him possession. Again, a beautiful ball played in behind and finds Ronaldo. He was going for that chop back finesse shot. He'll still take the shot and it will be saved this time for a corner. And you can see there is a bit of banter. I think a lot of mutual respect between these players. And Ashwin, I mean, he's always a guy who's happy, smiling, joking around. It's sort of like we have compared Ashwin to sort of the Ronaldinho of the eISL, and Ankit Gupta as sort of the Zlatan, the mercurial guy who comes into the interviews, no holds bars, says whatever he wants, whatever he believes. And well, at this moment it looks like Zlatan is on top as a clothesline on Ronaldo off the ball, not spotted by the referee. And can he get one goal back as a consolation? I think that would help with just a little bit of his confidence. Oh, finesse shot, but saved by Van der Sar, still in the box, and amounts to nothing in the end.
Quite unfortunate. Timed it perfectly as well. The green, the light coming through to make sure we get that, but instead now with that right back, not so fast. Sorry, the left back. Mbappe able to outrun him, but marshalled well. Will make sure that he gets kicked out. A quick substitution. Pele coming on from Ronaldo. This is just a formality at this point. We'll see if Ankit Gupta is able to add another different goal to his section here. I thought he was going to go for the near post again, but the ball curled very well. He's just trying out different things, and I love seeing this about Ankit Gupta. Always has something.
Yeah, the little sombrero flick over there, which is of course Mufu's go-to trick. But there you go. Yeah, it is 3-0. An absolute demolition job. It's Joga Bonito by Ankit Gupta over there, playing the beautiful game, scoring the beautiful goals, and setting up now his teammate Shayantan, aka I'm Ben07, to get the result and get the win against Tikka. Of course, Tikka not to be taken lightly at all. A guy who has been the clutch king usually when Ashwin has not been on form. It has been Tikka to come and pull Mumbai City FC out of the mire, and it's up to him to do that again.
Yeah, and we had a lot of conversation about how these experienced players like to play the player itself, and Tika is one who's been doing it from the very start. We saw it against top tier players like Saransh, Lokmanu, where he would prepare accordingly for them and play a slightly different style. I'd say since then he has settled into something a bit more his style, his favored, but we'll have to see. Maybe he has something prepared for Ben, because the last time they played it was hella close.
Yeah, it was very, very close that time out. But of course, Tika did prevail in that game. And I think Ashwin is going to regret. He had 2 or 3 really big chances. But then, of course, it just takes one through ball and one chip, and it's all over when Ankit Gupta is involved.
That chip is so exquisite. Why can't I mean, I know why. That. But it just perfectly placed. The timing is on point, and the same for this. Just one touch changes to the left foot, instantly knows he has to go for it. It's like it's ingrained in his subconscious, and it makes sense what you said, that as he mentioned, he just practices it so many times, just knows the positions and the balance. I feel like really innately, because in those long shots, the balance that the player is feeling in the moment so key.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's 3-0 now to SCEB Bengal. So lots of work to do now for Mumbai City FC and of course Karman Tikka to try and get that result. If you have a look at it as well, statistically, lots of the ball going to Mumbai City FC, but of course possession doesn't really matter that much when you can only muster those 3 shots, 9 shots for Ankit, and of course an XG of 3.4. So pretty fair reflection overall with the 3-0 scoreline.
Yeah, you can clearly see the playstyles as well. Much lesser passes for SCEB Bengal. The direct playstyle that we've honestly seen from the very start for Ankit Gupta just working out perfectly now. And I just want to see if they can make it a thriller of a series in game 2, because in our earlier set today, it was also the same affair where it started off looking like a one-sided affair, but it certainly did not end like that. And that's what I want, because number 1 versus number 3, we need to see if that curse that you were talking about as well still stands as you.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, we have our own record going as well. I think there's only been one match that we have done together, which has ended not going to game 3. So we still have our fingers crossed and our hopes high that it is going to end up that way. But we are, of course, looking forward now to kick off in game 2, which is Karman Tikka, who has been in reasonably good form of late. And of course, Shayantan, who has been a player completely reborn, had a bit of a nervous start to the season, but really looked like the main man. Just been playing just as well as his teammate in recent weeks, and that's really the reason why SCEB Bengal are flying as high as they are currently. It's just both players at the peak of their game. You know, eventually the way sports and esports works, there is going to be a dip that comes eventually, but they'll be hoping that they can ride this wave for as long as they possibly can.
Yeah, and hoping that they can ride this way all the way to the end, because at the end they're gonna have to face off against each other if they actually win it all. So that makes it that much more spicy. But we don't have to go there yet. That's quite a bit of time away. Still, of course, thinking about the match between Tikka and Benno 7. I want to see, because when you think about Tikka, right, he always used to bring in these new changes to. He's one of the few players who brought in Frankie de Jong the first time, I believe, back in the meta. With these new players available, I wonder if he tries someone different and just has his own take and his own spin on the way to play the game.
Yeah, let's see what he does go with. We have seen some interesting cards chosen, but particularly in the co-op games, we've seen Xavi appearing in the midst over there. But if we look at the head-to-head, both fairly similarly matched. I think obviously Shayantan, who by virtue of fewer games played, has a slightly higher goal-scoring rate than Tikka does. Both of them averaging just about or just above 2 goals per game. And Tikka, he's had a fairly consistent season. He's been one of those players who's gone sort of under the radar, a little underappreciated as a player, you could say. But he's the guy who comes up with the big results when they matter, and it does really matter right now. He needs to try and get that win against Shayantan, and of course, even if he can just manage to get a draw, they can still take it to co-op.
Yeah, definitely. I think even being able to fight for a point will be a big deal here for Mumbai City FC, especially considering that they know for a fact SCEB Bengal, as you said, they've been on a tear. Both of the players in insane form. And the only obstacle, the only hurdle they've stumbled over has been Mumbai City FC. So if they can make it so that the out of the 2 series they played against them, one was a win for Mumbai and the other was a draw. I think that's a big win overall when you go into playoffs and you're expecting to eventually face these players again in that situation. I think that's what it comes down to now, just making sure they make a statement. But yeah, again, unlike as we expect, like these players who are at the top, they seem to be treating that pressure factor a lot better, don't you think, Azim?
Yeah, absolutely they do. And well, I think Tikka appears to be searching for headphones right now. Can't quite seem to spot them on the table. There you go. They have been handed to him by a mysterious arm that has appeared from out of the frame. But it is. I think the teams around them are going to be watching this very, very intently. Of course, not just to scout them, but of course also hoping that they drop some points. They can get a draw. You can see Ankit giving his teammate a little bit of support over there. And of course, very, very unique in that Shantan is, of course, from the city of Kolkata. He is an SCEB Bengal fan. He really resonates with the club and the fans, and we've been hearing all about the great messages that all the fans have been sending to the players, and continue to keep sending those messages in. I'm sure all the players, wherever you find them on Twitter, Instagram, wherever, I'm sure they really appreciate the support that the families of all these clubs show them. And we just wait now. I think Tikka has found his earphones. He's got into gamer mode. He's got his back arched, and we are ready for kickoff. Here we go. It's Jude Bellingham straight away. And yes, there you go. It does look like your prediction was right. Rudiger in there as well. Joao Cancelo. Let's see what else Tikka has in store for us.
I mean, I expect the changes, but Jude Bellingham is quite a big change. I assume it's one of those future heroes cards of Jude Bellingham, and we'll have to see how that works out. But immediately Tikka off to a blistering start, looking for the position in. It's that player, Jude Bellingham. Individually not off to a great start, Bellingham card. Oh no, cheap giveaway, Azim.
Cheap giveaway, and Ronaldo gets into the box over there. He was with Bellingham over there, looking for that meta finesse shot, the chop back, and the finish into the top corner. If you've been playing online, either CA or anybody who's watching this stream, if you've been playing online, chances are you have come up against a skiller who has done that to you, and you've been just left staring at your screen. It is something that has been introduced in the new meta, and a lot of players expect it to be removed when the next title update comes. But as long as you have it, you may as well make use of the best tools available to you. And now Shayantan looking for that long ball in behind, just like Ankit Gupta. Will we see a chip over here? Definitely not. And this time a little deeper on defense. Might be worth dropping their defenses back a little bit deeper for Mumbai City FC to counter those long balls in behind, because it looks like a concentrated tactic.
Yeah, we saw it from Ankit Gupta as well. They use it really, really well, and they seem to know exactly when to time it. They get the spot, but Kante at the edge of the box. I wonder if that was messy. We could have seen another finesse goal for SCEB Bengal. But we do notice that I think the styles of Ankit Gupta and IMBeno7 quite different in that regard, in the sense that IMBeno7 does like to play slightly slower, more of that standard possession style. Ankit Gupta, he's just like completely different from everyone else itself. But hey, together they make a killer of a team. Even in their co-ops, they always look devastating. And this attack might just be that devastating here for Mumbai.
Yeah. And it's Edward Mendy in goal as well. So clearly it does look like a bit of a Chelsea fan. Tikka, you would have to say. Getting Mendy in there, Rudiger in there. Also, of course, probably doing a lot of that for chemistry purposes. May well have seen Jorginho in the midfield as well, if he was such a fan. Or no sign of Kante in his midfield as well. He's going for Jude Bellingham. So, interesting choice. We have seen Bellingham used as a substitute yesterday in a couple of matches. So, let's see. Maybe Bellingham gives them a little bit of shooting ability, a little bit of dribbling ability that I struggle to think that Kevin De Bruyne would not. Yeah. But hang on. It's the Marseille Roulette. The hesitation and the goal. The head drops from Shayantan. But Tikka showing what he's made of, showing that he can be the guy to carry Mumbai City FC and giving us yet another Terra Virtua super moment of the match.
Yeah, and just very well done. As you said as well, there was a bit of hesitation, but it's just like a Tikka factor, right? He always seems to play on instinct, knows when to release it, and gets it timed perfectly this time. So hey, I'll give it to him. And with that simple factor, the Tikka clutch as well, just like you called it, really coming into play. A 1-0 lead now for Mumbai City FC, and IMBeno7 under considerable pressure. I want to see exactly the kind of match these guys had last time around. It was a 5-goal affair, so I hope they can get it going and give us the same blistering goal-to-goal action. Make the keepers really work.
Yeah, we have seen the keepers called into action. Well, not the keepers called into action. Defenders certainly called into action with a couple of blocks here and there. But Shantan, what does he have up his sleeve now? He's usually been in imperious form over the last few weeks. But of course, SC's Bengal have also been playing a lot of the teams towards the bottom half of the table. This is where it gets really difficult. You really have to bring your A game for every game, every minute of each game. And Shantan, of course, second best in this half so far, but plenty of time for him to recover. Now Tikka, he wants to get in that box. He wants to get those 1v1s, those isolation plays where he can use those skills because he is so effective and he knows how to use that right stick so well. Will he go for his own finesse shot over here? Decides against it. Now with Bellingham, has Gullit, has Pele at the edge of the box as well. This is the position that he wants to be in. Sort of get one or two defenders out of the way. And the ball now available to Mbappe. Runs down the line. Does he have a cutback available? Not quite. It is smothered by the keeper.
Yeah, and denied by Edwin van der Sar. Much more of a standard choice for the side of SCS Bengal. But so far, it's exactly like we've been expecting. Tikka off to a great start. And you have to wonder, maybe these player choices, surprising. Chantan to a certain extent had the cross in. I really like this about SCS Bengal overall. They don't hesitate to take chances the way they come. They're like, we play all aspects of the game. But talking about all aspects, I 1-2. I feel like a second later on the pass might have helped Messi, maybe.
Yeah, I think just played a little too early and bit fortunate there. Tikka to come away with the ball. Shantan just squandering possession a little bit over there. And now looking to find Ronaldo. You can see the manual movement of the player. Can't quite find him over there. Marquinhos over there. I do wonder whether Ashwin missed a bit of a trick by not having Marquinhos in there. Of course, Maldini is a very good card and was the popular part of the meta before the team of the year cards were made available. But now Shantan finds that cut back, but Marquinhos there again. Case in point, the case that I was making, that Marquinhos just seems so powerful as a defender with the new team of the year card that you would always want to have him in your team. And now Cristiano Ronaldo running in back there. Rafael Varane in position to make the interception.
Yeah, and it's starting to become a very cagey affair between both of these players. A lot of these long balls attempted, but appropriate positioning is ensuring that most of them actually don't find their intended target, and the players give the ball away to each other, but not the cheap giveaways that we've been seeing a lot of today. It's actually just them trying to make something happen and the opponent reading well into it. And talking about just that pace of Hakimi really coming in as the first touch of Mbappe not so great gives Tikka here a great chance to go on the counter, but first touch of Pele not so great. Will take us to half time, Azim, and 1-0, not what I expected in terms of being that little goal scoring, but in terms of how close we were thinking this match would go, that's certainly the case.
Yeah, and I think that's what Ashwin will be telling his teammate. Maybe a little bit of tactical advice, telling him to try a few different things. This one worked perfectly. I thought maybe the defender might have got the block in, but it actually went between his legs. Yeah. So a little bit fortunate over there. And there you go. I think Ashwin not getting too ahead of himself in that moment. He knows that Shantan is a guy who's been in great form. And of course, form is temporary, class is permanent. And we are seeing, of course, the class that Tikka and Mumbai City FC are showing. Ashwin not having the best day at the office, but Tikka is getting the job done so far. But it could all change as we see Messi brought on in place of Pele for Mumbai City FC.
Yeah, quite an interesting substitution because I do think he had Pele on the right, so it gives him a lot more options. No, he's actually... Oh, yeah. So, yeah, he's got Messi on the right, so maybe we get to see that finesse the way we saw it from Ankit Gupta, but right now controlling possession, and Bellingham once again gives it away. Not to blame the card, but so far every time we see him in action, he seems to squander the ball.
Yeah, I think maybe a factor over there is also the Tikka trying to be a bit ambitious with the passes that he's trying to make. And of course, Shantan being very organized and reading what he's really trying to do. There we see again, this time getting past his man and trying to... I think that's why he's in there. Maybe some good passing attributes, the kind of player you want to be putting those through balls in. Really trying to find that gap to find Ronaldo in over there. And there was the gap. Elected not to take it. It does fall now to Cristiano Ronaldo. Takes the shot. Falls to Ronaldo Nazario this time. Works the ball to Marquinhos of all people who is ahead. And who's defending if Marquinhos is ahead? Nobody. Well, he gets back just in time.
Yeah, and unfortunately, not so great touch for Messi. There could have been a devastating counter, but just not able to push it through. Still has the ball with Mbappe now on the left wing, which is quite open since two players are trying to pressure him. Messi able to utilize that gap. The cutback trying to come through, but Mendy, recently one of the best keepers at AFCON, has been on a meteoric rise overall and clearly showing up in the game as well. I've been plagued by this particular card in my online games as well. So many people have him. I just can't seem to play my usual playstyle. Try to shoot across goal. It just never goes past.
Yeah, I mean, well, that happens with a lot of keepers. Let's say it's so cool how the meta has evolved since we've been casting on this. There was a time when Van der Sar was MVP, and Van der Sar is the MVP in that moment. What a huge save over there. That could have been lights out for Shayanthan and SCEB Bengal in that moment, but he is still in this game. There is still the possibility for him to, well, at least steal a draw and ensure that 1 point for SCEB Bengal. But if it stays like this, it is absolutely everything to play for in game 3. And now this is where it's about holding your nerve. It's about not making mistakes. It's about keeping it all calm and composed. And Tikka is always all about keeping it calm and composed. And let's see if Shayanthan can do the same.
Yeah, and it's all about that composure right now because it's still so close. A single goal itself will effectively ensure that SCEB Bengal get to stay at the top, not perturbed by Mumbai City FC, because even if this ends up in a draw, they get to go into co-op, ensuring that they cannot lose this time around. Whereas for the side of Tikka, if he does manage to hold on, then we get what we want, which is that extra spicy third match of the co-op, which seals the deal for either of the teams. Now, Vinicius on and Eusebio for respective teams. Vinicius for Mumbai and Eusebio for SCEB Bengal. We'll have to see how he's able to use that pace because he shifted Messi onto the left. No, center. 4-2-4, I guess.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting choice to have Vinicius, as we learned with Afnan, and he admitted to us in his interview as well that he's never playing Vinicius on the right flank again, purely because of that weak foot. Of course, the angle does favor you when you're right-footed if you're playing on the left, but this time Shayanthan gets into the box but forced away and gives the ball away, and now a counter-attack. It's 2v2 with Messi and Ronaldo. Mbappe getting involved now as well. Will he sprint down the line? No, decides to look back and look for the pass. He doesn't need to hurry things. He has the lead, so he can look for that high percentage opening. He did think he had it before an exceptional save by the keeper just a few minutes ago, and now can he abuse that pace of Vinicius, get inside the box, spam a few skill moves? Will he go for a Rabona fake, something to put Shayanthan off? And finds the cutback, this time with Ronaldo. Still cannot get that shot away. It's so close over here. Everything on a knife edge. And Shayanthan and SCEB Bengal still just about surviving, and they give the ball away again.
We've got Bellingham on the ball once again, trying to really seal the deal here for Tikka and relieve some of that pressure. Goes for the finesse, but blocked beautifully there by Kante. We'll make sure now that Shayanthan's still with a chance in this matchup. Now he's trying to set up the 1-2s and push forward, but you can see that for Tikka's defense, a lot of numbers back. He's effectively like having them flood the midfield while playing a deep line. So setting up these balls not so easy at all. It does have some gaps he can look for, but hey, Bellingham's longer legs, I think that's the clear-cut advantage over Kevin De Bruyne helping out in that defensive area.
Yeah, he's definitely done a good job cleaning up. Very nice little bit of skill over there. And of course, really now trying to tempt Shayanthan into make those tackles so that he can get these kind of situations, get inside the box. Will he look for that pass? He does look for it, but blocked off well, and has to, of course, make sure now, Tikka, that he doesn't over-press Shayanthan when he's in his defense so that he can be well set on defense, and he's made sure to do that. Now, Gullit moving forward into the gap. It's going to be Gullit up against Maldini, centre half, out of position, not an ideal situation to defend. And there you go, Eusebio in the box, and a vital interception from Rudiger. Still falls to Messi at the edge of the area. Shayanthan, what's he thinking? Does he want to take a shot with Messi? Does he want to work the high percentage shot? It does look like he's working for a good shooting opportunity. And it is snuffed out by that man, Bellingham again.
Yeah, and the manual run set up here with the pass coming through for Ronaldo, but only has Messi in the box, so needs to buy time for his attackers to come through. And Buy time seems to be the name of the game right here for Tikka. Time management coming into play. He's just trying to deny the ball from SCE's Bengal as much as possible. Get this win really through.
Yeah, it is a risky tactic because if you start doing it a little too early in the game, it can really backfire. But yeah, I think he knows that a 1-0 is enough. 1-0 is what he came there for. And just keeping it going, wants to make sure he keeps it so that he has the last attack. Had the opportunity to play an Mbappe over there, decided not to. And I think even Shanthan has sort of resigned himself to the fact that Tikka is just going to see this out. He knows that this is done. You can see just... doing a few strange moves with Hakimi over there. And of course, I think 80-85 minutes is about the time where it's sort of acceptable to do this, because it's really hard. And he's given it away. He's given it away with 1 minute to go. Goes for a slight tackle. He would have taken a red card in that situation, I'm sure. And now running forward with Messi. That is the win for Tikka and Mumbai City FC. And maybe a little hand of apology across the table. I think it's okay in the league stages, but when this happens in the knockouts, there you go, a hand of apology. But when it happens in the knockouts, I don't think they're going to be quite so sporting about it.
Yeah, but it'll be that much more valuable over there, because getting to that finals, getting that opportunity to make it to the FIFA Global Series, a big factor of motivation for all of these players, and especially for players like Tikka, who are quite young, new to the scene, and have improved drastically throughout the course of this eISL. And you see smiles being exchanged. They know how close that game went, but this is not unfamiliar territory for the Mumbai boys. They've been in situations like this before, where Ashwin just not having the greatest of days, Tikka pulling off a close win just for them to regroup and find themselves that much stronger in the co-op.
Yeah, and co-op is going to be all important. We have seen SC's Bengal whitewashing teams being imperious in their co-op games as well. And yeah, we've seen Ankit Gupta absolutely on fire. But I think the factor over here will be Shanthan, whether he can get his head in order. He hasn't lost a game in a while. So maybe he'll be a little bit down. He has to, of course, recover from it. And Mumbai City FC, of course, they will have that key word for them right now is momentum. They'll have the momentum going into Game 3. And they will really be looking to close it out. Very tight and cagey affair. Tends to be with Tikka. It's either a 1-0 or just a 3-4. That's usually what he deals in.
Yeah.
And worked out well enough for him. A little bit of gamesmanship at the end, but I think that's all part of the game.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a way of ensuring that victory. But I think for Tikka, as you said, very well deserved on the victory. Seemed to, at least in the first half, very much be dominating the pace of the play. So we'll have to see now if going into the co-op, they can maintain that same level of momentum for Mumbai City FC, or we see Ankit Gupta's brilliance really come and take over altogether. Because I feel like if Shanthan is able to keep that same level of compact defense that he showed against the Mumbai City FC boys here, and just let Ankit Gupta, be Ankit Gupta in the attack, then it's just a matter of time before he finds those goals.
Well, yeah, and if one of your goals is to get yourself some nice NFT merch, you can, of course, check out Terra Virtua, who has an interesting new Hero eISL collection, which we can have a look at right now.
And boy, oh boy, those collectibles certainly look like something I want to get in my collection real quick. So make sure you do that as well back home. But talking about collection right now, SCE's Bengal, they've got a large collection of wins. The only loss in that from Mumbai City FC. And it seems like we're poised to once again go to that co-op to decide if it's going to be one turned into 2 losses, or if it's just going to be maybe even a draw. I feel like that might end up being the neutral result that we see.
Yeah, I'm sure the teams around them, the likes of FC Goa, Chennai and FC, Northeast United FC, they'll be hoping and praying for a draw, because they want all the teams around them to drop as many points as they possibly can. But it's just going to be so tight, this one. There's going to be nerves. There's going to be so much riding on it. And of course, the fact that the curse of the top place, is it real? Are we going to find out today that the team that goes top always starts losing immediately after? Because SCE's Bengal, let us remind our viewers, have only gone top this week, and they've been usually sitting second, third, fourth just before that. Now that their games are coming thick and fast, they find themselves in that top spot. And Mumbai City FC laughing, joking, enjoying themselves, and a lot of serious, intense looks at the screen from SCEB Bengal.
Yeah, and you can see full focus from the side of SCS Bengal, while Mumbai City FC, in classic fashion, I think these are one of the few quirky boys who've really developed a relationship between themselves. I think Ashwin and Tika, and they always turn up with smiles. We even saw towards the start of the eISL, them working on their fist bump routines, and since then they've managed to not just work on that, but their co-op has been incredulous. But talking about just that, going into this matchup, I think it's really going to come down to those key tactics that both of these players are quite different in. Ashwin, I feel like he's very much like, this is my way, I want to play. And then Tika, you can see he has a completely different style to think about it. But maybe they're talking about just that. Ashwin being like, you got the brains, so maybe we use yours this time. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think generally Ashwin is the guy who sort of orchestrates the play and then hands it over to Tikka to be like, okay, you know what, you beat two defenders and take the shot, or pass it to me and I'll do the finishing. But Sandhan's still looking a little downbeat. It almost looks like he was beaten like 7-0 in that last game. Doesn't need to be so upset about it. Of course, all to play for. Let's remind our viewers that this is of course game 3, and with both teams having one match so far, one match so far, it means that whatever the result of this third co-op game will be the overall result of this match. So Mumbai City FC enjoying themselves. They have like a good sort of young brother, old brother kind of dynamic going on over there. Always laughing, chilling together. And Shanthan, of course, he's a player who really serious about this. In fact, a player who was pro and then decided to sort of quit being a pro FIFA player for a while. But then the temptation of the eISL was too much for him. It almost sounds like one of those Hollywood movie scripts. You know, the guy who at the start of the movie has quit and gone into hermitage, and then suddenly this giant tournament comes back, and he has to get back in to save his family. At least the saving family part is in movies. I don't think Shanthan has to do any of that over here. But SCEB Bengal, they are ready to get us going on the ball. Here we go. It is the decider for this huge top of the table clash, and immediately ball stolen away by Mumbai City FC, and they'll be looking to get on the front foot and get that goal as soon as possible.
Yeah, and I'm really curious to see. Oh, it is the Baldini and the Cafu with the Varane, so it is going to be Ashwin's composition coming through. We'll see how Tika fits it up. As you said, it is Ashwin who is the playmaker, the orchestrator, and we'll have to see how that works out. Curious ball right there, quite fortuitous that it's not. Oh, it is actually Hakimi. So a mix of both styles maybe here. They compromise. They're like, okay, I get right back, but you get center back. I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah, I think the compromise they had to do over there to accommodate Hakimi into the team was to get Messi in there to start at the right wing position, so that the PSG chemistry is there. And again, a little nervy over there, you'd have to say, from SCEB Bengal. This is a good position for a guy like Tikka if he's on the ball. Getting into those pockets of space. 1v1, goes for the shot, takes the shot. Van der Sar, the mortal enemy of Ashwin, strikes again. And is it going to be a ball into the box, I wonder? Is there going to be a cross? Surely not from Mumbai City FC. They don't cross the ball. And it looks like that's going out to De Bruyne. Is it going to be a volley? No. Okay, sure. That would have been a bit too much. Mbappe storms into that box, finds Rafael Varane of all people, and now on the counter attack, it is 3v3. Can SCEB Bengal make it count? Not quite.
Coming really close though. Still 0-0 in the matchup, and it's exactly what we expected from the very start. Some blistering action. Both of these teams have proven themselves to be very good in that co-op. Got that chemistry going, and almost that ball set off for R7 with that. But it did not work out. Instead, now R7 to R9. He is offside, so the ball back in Mumbai City FC's hands. And in that regard, quite a telling tale. We get to see Ashwin's presence really felt in terms of the play style. Mumbai City FC completely dominating that possession, at least in the early stages. But we've seen how good and how clinical really Ankit Gupta can be on the counter attack. So I don't think dominating possession itself guarantees you the win.
Yes, but what can guarantee you the win, of course, is your own free NFT at terravirtua.isl. Oh, sorry, terravirtua.io/ISL. Sorry, there's also action in the box, which I have to pay attention to. But since that's fizzled out, you can get your own free NFT worth $19.99 customized to have your own team jersey on it. It is the V Flex, so please do go check it out if you are into the NFT ecosystem, and if you're not, then what are you doing with your life? But anyway, the Mumbai City FC are doing with their life the defending of that last move as they get forward on the counter.
Pushing in, they do get that corner. They do get that throw in ready, and I want to see if maybe, especially not in this match, of course, from Mumbai City FC, but maybe we could start seeing a lot more of those heavy throw-ins from those positions, the long throw-ins to try and find a header. Instead, going for the finesse, mistimed on that shot, so nowhere close. But they do get the ball back, and now with R7, maybe round number 2 on that shot.
Yeah, not quite able to this time around. And a good chip ball in, going for the header. Of course, a good idea to use the head of Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the most OP things that you can find. And I have to say that SCEB Bengal have been completely denied the ball over here. And I suppose that's one way of dealing with Ankit Gupta, which is to just not let him have the ball. So a very smart tactic over here, you could say. And it's a tactic that a lot of teams have used, particularly against Shubham from Odisha FC, of course, who was unbeaten for the longest time. Is Ronaldo on side over there? Yes, he is. And now finds Gullit. Will he go for that shot fake? And I don't think that was the pass he was intending. Varane gets a little pull too high. And really, their only resort at this moment for SCEB Bengal is those long balls in behind. But it just takes Ankit one chance to get in those positions. And he will chip, dink, scoop, bicycle kick, whatever your request of the day is. He'll do that and put the ball in the net. But so far, no luck with the chances for SCEB Bengal.
Yeah, I also wonder if Ankit Gupta's one chip per match counts in co-op games, since technically it's not his match, but technically it also is. But hold on, he's not getting that chance just yet. Mumbai City FC still dominating possession to a large extent, and they've been going for these really nifty lob balls into the box, but this time just waltzing in. Kevin De Bruyne not able to find the cutback, and the counter is on. Got a couple options, but going to take that time instead and let that right wing push in.
Yes, let's see if they can do it again. That standard ball in behind the fullback, and now a little bit exposed. The header to Ronaldo, and that's just how simple it is. Very, very, I mean, you have to feel for Mumbai City FC over there, just done with a simple cross into the box. But also, I think potentially a learning for them, that sometimes maybe you need to put that cross into the box, because sometimes it can just be that simple.
Yeah, exactly, and I think it really does come down to playing off of instinct for SCEB Bengal. They rely a lot on what they understand in the moment will work. We see that in the shots that Ankit Gupta was able to take, and a simple call there. Get the cross in, you've got one of the best heading players in the box in Ronaldo, and he slams it into the box. You can see possession stats clearly in favor of Mumbai City FC, but that's not the tale in terms of the scoreline. Once again, the ball retrieved and the counter is on, Azim.
Yeah, it's a very fine balance that Mumbai City FC have to find, because if they commit those fullbacks forward like they are, of course it helps them maintain that possession and really add an attacking threat, but of course it leaves you exposed then to that counter attack. And we've seen with these boys, they're very, very efficient on their co-op, very efficient on the counter-attack, but this time trying to be efficient, getting into the box. It's a penalty. It is a penalty. We've seen one saved. The last 3 in fact have been saved in the eISL. Is Mumbai City FC going to break that streak?
Yeah, and Edwin van der Sar, one of the MVPs, was one of the MVP contenders at the start of the tournament. I wonder if it's the reverse tale for him, where he actually becomes the giver of these penalties. Going right, and it's predicted and saved. Again, like in that moment, you can see where the player is looking. So I'm actually quite surprised they don't change it in that last moment.
Yeah, well, actually, I think he made it look like it was going straight and then changed it to the last moment. That's not the player you want there, Varane, but this is the player you want. Mbappe takes the shot again. The nemesis of Ashwin, Edwin van der Sar. What does he have to do to get this man out of his life? It is still 1-0 to SCEB Bengal with crazy possession, crazy chances, all falling to Mumbai City FC. And now they need something special. They need something to happen, and maybe it could be Tikka with a little bit of skill, a little bit of magic to unlock that defense, and slides that in towards Ronaldo. Can't quite happen. And now if SCEB Bengal can make this count, it could be the massive sucker punch at half time.
Yeah, and that really hurts when you miss that penalty and they get a goal back real quick. But instead, the halftime attack seems to be going in the favor of Mumbai City FC. Pushing forward with Cancelo, they unlikely to go for the cross, and that's exactly what happens. Getting Mbappe into the box, have a couple options with Gullit on the edge of the box. Get it to R9, and a shot available here. But all bodies thrown at that shot. They managed to block it and get it out.
Yeah, and you can see huge inquest into the SCEB Bengal bench over there. Both of them having a fight about maybe I'm supposed to block it. No, you're supposed to block it. Okay, both of us will block it. Eventually, it doesn't matter because the keeper's making all the saves. And I think Ashwin and Tikka will feel pretty hard done by because they have absolutely dominated that first half and have just nothing to show for it. And there we see again, just changing it at the last moment. But yeah. I think maybe seeing the keeper moving slightly to the left is what tempted him to go right. Yeah. And yeah, it's all about mind games over here. As we say, every penalty you pretty much have it's a 33% chance of you, or rather 66% chance of you getting it right because it's either left, right, or center. And unfortunately, for most of our recent penalty takers, it hasn't worked out.
Yeah, exactly. And it does start to feel like the keepers are really smart at playing those mind games. I mean, the defenders of the penalty in this regard, SCEB Bengal doing very well there, as you said, moving the keeper to the opposite side, but he is still only 1-0. All Mumbai City FC need is that one chance, and they've got plenty of possession to try and make that chance happen. SCEB Bengal playing on the very edge, but it seems like that's where they like it because they are so damn quick and clinical on these counters. They've got themselves on the good end of one now, going once again for that cross.
Oh! Oh my goodness, it flew over the head of Ronaldo, and the one person you really didn't want in that position, of course, Lionel Messi, well, putting in a bit of a strange header, shall we say. And yeah, now you can look at the number of bodies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 players back defending for SCEB Bengal. They are clinging on to this for dear life, and it's going to take a bit of magic, a bit of individual brilliance. Is that? Yes, it is! De Bruyne at Mumbai City FC. Smash one into the top corner. Ankit Gupta gets a taste of his own medicine. A terra virtua super moment of the match for sure as Mumbai City FC level it up.
Oh my god, and almost from the exact same position as where Ankit Gupta got it. Beautifully placed. I think it was Ashwin, if I'm not mistaken, going for that finesse, and we've seen him do it in the past with Messi, but on that De Bruyne with his weaker foot, though, to be honest, I'm not sure if he has one.
Yeah, it's probably a 5-star weak foot, and that's another lesson that we learned just yesterday from Vanshat Sharma, of course, about in his FIFA Finesse series. And now the momentum will be with Mumbai City FC. They've got the confidence, could have actually just waltzed straight into the box there. Kind of was surprised by how that gap just opened up, and SCEB Bengal defense a little bit at 6s and 7s over here, trying to get in. Now it's Ronaldo again, had the opportunity, but second guessing. And yeah, are Mumbai City FC going to regret this because the win is there for the taking?
Yeah, and it's very similar in that position from Ronaldo, what we saw from Tikka in his individual game, just maybe overcomplicating a bit too much. Hey, it worked out in his individual game though, so as long as he's able to make it work out right here, I think they can push for the win. SCEB Bengal, they're like thief in the night. They strike when you least expect it. So Mumbai City FC, with all of this momentum, they cannot afford for a second to turn off in defense, because all SCEB Bengal really have shown us throughout this series and throughout the eISL is all they need are a couple of chances. They're not the kind of team to try and create a lot and miss. No, when they get chances, they take.
Yes, and Gullit waltzing into the box. This is where that individual skill comes into play, and it is really what it's going to take. The ball will land towards Ronaldo. It still falls to Messi in a very enticing position. If he can get to the edge of the area, will he go with De Bruyne again? Looking for that pass now with Ronaldo. Surely has to take a shot on. Tries to get through 3 defenders with one skill move. Never going to happen there. It is so intense over here, and this is the situation that SCEB Bengal have been preparing for. And immediately over there, I think for Mumbai City FC, it's worth just fouling them in that situation.
Yeah, just get rid of the opportunity altogether. But maybe they are scared of that card still with 20 minutes left to go in the game. We are starting to see a lot more looseness in terms of the way the players are playing, a lot more gaps itself as they start to really push for that extra goal, the nail in the coffin for either of the teams, and a cross.
Oh.
I don't think that was Ashwin. 100% not Ashwin.
Yeah, I think Ashwin just lecturing Tikka over there saying, I don't cross. Okay,
yeah, what is this?
Please, I will not be attacking these balls. Please stop this nonsense. and a bit of an acrobatic clearance over there. And you can see SC's Bengal now trying to maybe even just kill a little bit of time with the keeper over there, gain some composure back. And now, ball played in. Huge moment for SC's Bengal. This could be a nail in the coffin, but it falls to the keeper. The crucial touch on the ball from the defender, I believe, Rafael Varane in that instance. And yes, it's getting into that scary time, and that's not the kind of time you want to be giving the ball away like that.
Oh boy, a little too close for comfort, but as you said, not the time for cheap giveaways. The pressure factor, maybe we didn't see it in game 1 and game 2, we're definitely seeing it come through in game 3, as even the league leaders right now, they're feeling it, they're unable to push through. I think for them this is a mental game, because I don't think with the win streak they have, with the record they have, they ever want to be against the team that they have not beaten. Because even if this ends up in a draw, Mumbai City can proudly hold their heads up high and be like, SCE's Bengal has whooped every single one of you, but they've never beaten us.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, they have managed to get draws. I think FC Goa managed to get a draw against them, and there was one more team which I'm not entirely able to recollect right now, but I'm sure somebody will remind us of it at some point. But there we go. It's 83 minutes now. You know Mumbai City FC, they want the win. They want to go for the kill. They have absolutely dominated this entire game, created chance after chance, and really eventually had to rely on the finesse shot, the long range, the low percentage shot to get the job done. And they're playing it around. They don't want to give SC's Bengal another counter attack. They just want to wait for that last opportune moment and see if they can get it. I do see an East Bengal pause being cued. So another reason to keep the ball. Don't let the ball go out. Don't let them make the changes that they want to. And now the opportunity. Find Ronaldo. Now laid off to De Bruyne. Nice ball roll. Get it in. No. Manages to keep it, but gives it away. Huge moment here. SC's Bengal. This is what they've been waiting for. One counter attack to get in behind. I think the defender is favourite to get there. And yes, Hakimi does get it. And now finally, this will be the last attack. And it will fall to Mumbai City FC. Or will it?
Oh, the ball is still given away. The slide tackle not landing. The last attack will be for SCE's Bengal. Ronaldo trying to make the moves happen. The cutback will not land. And just like that, we end up at a 1-1 scoreline. And hey, this is what we talked about. I think the draw is what is most deserved for both of these teams, considering the way they played. I think one clear-cut thing we can take away from this entire series is that both of these teams are two of the favorites to make sure they get into that top 4. The way they play, the way they've even adapted to the newer meta, everything checkbox, at least for me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I think both teams will look a little bit disappointed. I think Mumbai City FC a little bit more disappointed, considering just how dominant they were in game 3. I think SCE's Bengal by that second half were just feeling like they were lucky to be in it, because so many chances and of course saves made by the keepers looked like clear-cut opportunities to score. But of course, Ashwin denied by Van der Sar again, who has been. I mean, I think if it was up to Ashwin, if you asked him to delete one player from FIFA forever, he would, without hesitation, say it's Edwin Van der Sar. But there we have it. We have a look, of course, at the results right here. It's Ankit Gupta, dominant win against Ashwin, 3-0, and then Tikka staging the comeback, a nervy 1-0, and pulsating moment over there. And I'm quite sure that that goal from Kevin De Bruyne will live long in the memory.
Oh yeah, 100%. Ashwin's as well, if I'm not mistaken, was on the blue controller. So he's definitely going to be very happy about that, considering he did not actually get the chance to score any goals in his own individual matchup. So the fact that they're able to pull that off is just absolutely beautiful. But penalties, that's something we're going to have to talk about. I wonder if you can get a FIFA finesse class actually from one of the players on these penalties, on how they approach from the goalkeeping aspect, how they approach from the shooting aspect. Because as you said, like recently we haven't seen a single one go in.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure these guys also know each other really well. They play a lot of games against each other. And I'm sure there have been a lot of penalties conceded. So they would have some idea of what tactics these guys tend to employ. And of course, this was, I mean, there were lots and lots of chances, lots of moments. And this was the big one for Mumbai City FC. That finesse shot into the corner. You can see Ashwin punching the air in delight. There you go. Means a lot to him. Always playing with a smile on his face. And look at that possession, 70% of the ball, and that's not something you ordinarily see in FIFA, but complete dominance, 7 shots, and all the defensive stats, of course, going to SCEB Bengal. So they did a pretty good job of holding Mumbai City FC off. So on reflection, I think 1-1, just about a fair result, because yes, Mumbai City FC did create a lot, but I think SCEB Bengal's defense was also absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, 100%. I think these teams are very, very well matched, but you can see how different their playing style is. Mumbai City FC certainly dominating that possession, but at the end of the day, it's not that what matters. It's really EXG partially, and what we really mean is the idea of how many chances you're able to create and convert, how clinical you're able to be, and what SCEB East Bengal have in the bag is that clinical nature of their gameplay. But boy, oh boy, just beautifully done overall by both of these teams. I can't wait to see them in the playoffs, and I would be very surprised if any other team is able to push them off their top 4 position.
Well, I'm sure Chennai FC and FC Goa will have something to say about that. But let's quickly head over to the scorecard. Just to remind you, in case you've just joined in which case, please go and rewind the stream and watch everything else. These are spoilers. Shh, stay away. But it's a 3-0 win. Started off very well for SCEB Bengal. A very convincing, very Ankit Gupta-like performance to really dominate against Ashwin. 3-0. Tikka seeing out a very, very close encounter against Shayantan. And then that incredibly intense draw between the two teams.
Sorry about that. I was just checking out that goal once again. Maybe I might just go later, talk to one of those players, get Ashwin to give me a couple tips and tricks, because those long-range finesse shots definitely going to help me climb my division goals. But right now, I think what is especially clear to us as we get near the end of the league stage is how these players are ramping up. But right now, let's have a look at the hero of the match. I don't think it's going to be any surprise. It's the leading MVP candidate, and of course, not Ankit Gupta, still in that blistering run of form as
Yeah, absolutely. 3 goals and 3 absolute peaches. You would have to say no goals scored. So I think he was the provider of the header for the goal in the co-op game. But I mean, just sit back, feast your eyes on all of these goals. The absolute things of beauties. Again, the through ball over there. You're thinking most players will check back, look for a pass. Not Ankit Gupta. He goes for the chip always.
No hesitation too. That's what truly astounds me. He just knows he's gonna get it in, or honestly maybe doesn't even care. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna do my thing. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't go, whatever, I'll try again next time. But it never is the latter. It's always the former. It does manage to find its way in.
Yeah, and 3 very, very good goals. Of course, could not trouble the scorekeepers in the co-op game. So worked out, but worked out very, very well for Mumbai City FC in that case. It's of course the time for the Terra Virtua super moment of the match. I wonder what it will be. I think it's a choice between 2 finesse shots. Let's find out which one it will be. And as we see the play building up over here, let's see which one this was.
It's Bellingham actually. So it ends up being the Tikka individual goal.
Oh yes. Yeah, actually, that was a pretty important goal considering the fact that if Tikka had not scored that goal, the 3 points would have gone to SCEB Bengal. So a big moment of the match over there. And well, congrats to Tikka on providing us with the great Terra Virtua super moment of the match.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, right, not just about the mechanics of the goal, it's about the impact it had, without which they never would have tried to get that point. But talking about points, let's have a look at the leaderboard, see how this affects our standings. The curse very much maybe not completely active, but still there, as SCEB Bengal notch up their 3rd ever draw, and Mumbai City FC with that point are able to upstage Chennai FC just 1 point away from them. And look at that, top 6, top 7 even are so close.
Yeah, and I mean, Kerala Blasters FC might have something to say as well. They have a game in hand against Bengaluru FC. So if they get that win, I mean, they're just 9 points off the lead as well with 7 games to play. So you'd have to say, unfortunately for Hyderabad FC and Odisha FC, and of course ATKMB, their race for the top 4, you could say, is probably done. But they could have a huge role in deciding which of those 7 teams makes it up, because get a few surprise wins, go out and beat SCEB Bengal, and everybody else will love you for it.
Yeah.
But in any case, let's find out more about, for those of you who are interested in, of course, the NFT economy that is booming in India, and of course fans of the eISL, Terra Virtua has put together a special collection just for you guys.
Boy, those collectibles and even the way the videos are edited to show us those special hero ISL moments really gets my blood flowing. Maybe I might get myself invested in one of those with my boyhood scope. But right now, a big thank you to the eISL for even making this platform happen, giving us all this exciting action. The eISL, of course, powered by Coca-Cola, with Hero as our associate sponsor, Norwin Gaming as our esports partner, PlayStation as our platform partner, and Terra Virtua as our digital collectibles partner. And Azim, as we approach the end of our day today, any last words for our fans who are surely getting excited with the league stage so close to getting over?
Oh yeah, we're reaching the business end of the tournament, and we have rolled the credits.
Oh, we're back.
Oh, we have not. We're back. But no, we are reaching the business end of the tournament now, and every game is going to be super, super exciting. So please do remember to tune in to all the streams on whichever platform or channel you're watching. Remember to like the stream, subscribe to the channel, and keep us engaged with all of your comments and your predictions about who's going to win. And we will, of course, be back next week. And until then, see you. Take care and roll credits now.